Well, good morning. Imagine, showing up to work and you're told that starting today, every single morning, you have to completely re-interview for your own job.
Yeah, just fighting against your own colleagues for your desk.
Right. Like, no past achievements matter, zero guarantees. It's just about what you can do right this second. And that's exactly the kind of psychological pressure cooker the Latvian men's volleyball team is in right now.
It sounds incredibly intense.
Oh, it really is.
Ugh.
So, welcome to Code and Coffee Daily. In today's morning deep dive, we're looking at their preparation for the European Championship, which kicks off on September 10th.
Yeah, and our mission today is to kind of dissect that elite sports psychology.
Mm.
We want to understand how a team actually uses this massive internal pressure to build, I guess, external resilience.
Exactly. And, how they plan to make up for some technical gaps with this pure, raw fighting spirit.
So, getting right into the facts here, they resumed full training on August 3rd. And right now, the math is just, well, it's brutal.
Right. It's 17 players fighting for exactly 14 spots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. 17 top-tier guys, 14 spots on the final roster. That means almost 20% of the team is inevitably going home.
Mm.
The head coach, Krastinьš, has been super clear that literally no one has a guaranteed ticket to the European Championship.
Which is wild.
Yeah, it really is. And he doesn't just want physical exertion. He demands this real-time mental agility. Like, if a player makes a mistake, he expects them to analyze it and fix it in the very next episode of play.
The very next play. Wow.
Yeah, no dwelling on it. It's a culture built strictly on attitude and quality of play, and the coaching staff is constantly running these rotational experiments so no one ever feels totally safe.
That's like my startup analogy earlier, right? Every day you re-interview. But I do have to push back a bit here. Doesn't this extreme internal friction risk like totally exhausting the players mentally before they even face a single external rival?
That's a really valid question, yeah.
Yeah.
The risk of emotional and nervous burnout is huge. But Krastyi is basically using this internal competition as a filter.
Okay, how so?
Well, if a player breaks under the pressure of just practice, when it's only a roster spot on the line, they're definitely not going to handle the pressure of thousands of screaming fans at the actual tournament.
Right, that makes total sense. They're making the practice harder than the game.
Exactly. When you have a guaranteed spot, your subconscious can kind of let you coast a bit. Here, the organism gets used to functioning in a constant state of combat readiness.
Okay, but moving from that internal battle to facing actual external rivals, how do they plan to survive the tournament? I mean, they aren't the overall favorites going in.
Yeah, they're definitely the underdogs. And that brings up the whole marathon versus sprint dynamic. Top-tier leading teams, they have the luxury of treating the group stages like a marathon.
Right, they use those early games to kind of slowly warm up and build their form.
Exactly. They aim to peak right when the playoffs begin. But Krasizio pointed out a really brutal reality for Latvia. They just don't have that time to warm up.
Because they have to be, like, at 100% peak readiness by the very first match.
Right. Day one. And to simulate that day one intensity right now, they are running a truly grueling pre-tournament test match schedule.
Oh, like highly competitive practice games.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing Denmark, who Krastishu notes has this totally revamped, balanced roster of club leaders.
Okay.
And then they also play Estonia, Slovakia, and Ukraine.
Oh.
And Ukraine is actually Kressy's former team, so, he says they need no introduction.
Oh, wow. So there's some extra emotional weight there, too.
Yeah.
But pushing for a 100% peak on day one, I mean, that is incredibly risky. What if they just completely burn out by day 4?
It is a massive risk. There's no denying that.
I mean, is this just a choice they're making, or is it literally the only mathematical survival strategy for an underdog team to actually get out of the group stage?
It's pure survival pragmatics.
Yeah.
If they don't sprint from the starting line and grab points early using the element of surprise and peak fitness, the standings will just shut them out before they even find their rhythm.
Wow. Okay, so since they have to sprint from day one with absolutely zero room for error, what is their actual secret weapon? Because it turns out it's not perfect technique.
No, not at all. Actually, the team captain, Kristaps Mintz, made a really open confession about this. He admitted that Latvia might not be the most technical team on the court.
Which is a huge admission in elite sports.
Right, it's rare. But he emphasized that no one is just going to hand them a ticket. They have to fight for it. Their real advantage is their combativeness.
Yeah, they just refuse to give up.
Exactly. They use sheer fighting spirit to compensate for those technical shortcomings. They'll chase down balls other teams would just watch land. And Krastije echoes this, stating his goal is for the team to dictate their own rhythm of play under any circumstances.
I love that. It's almost like a punk rock approach to sports, you
Yeah,
know?
what I mean.
Like, you might not know all the complex chords, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you play louder and faster and with more passion than anyone else in the room, you can still completely steal the show.
That is a brilliant analogy. It's the psychological power of radical self-awareness. By admitting they have a technical deficit, it isn't a weakness anymore. It allows them to completely lean into their identity.
Right, they own it.
Exactly. They make hustle and combativeness their core metric for success. And that turns a potential disadvantage into this highly aggressive, really disruptive tactical rhythm.
Because if you're a highly technical team, you're used to a clean, predictable rhythm.
Right, you expect a certain perfectly timed pass and a specific angle of attack. But when a team like Latvia brings total chaos diving for every ball, extending rallies forever, it breaks the other team's internal clock. They get frustrated and start making forced errors.
They basically weaponize the hustle. I love it. Well, to briefly recap this team's journey, we've got this brutal 17-14 roster battle, the absolute tactical necessity of peaking on day one, and just that sheer punk rock fighting spirit replacing perfect technique.
It's a really intense, fascinating strategy.
It really is. And, you know, for everyone listening this morning, this actually connects perfectly to your own day.
Oh, definitely.
Like radical self-awareness, knowing exactly what you might lack technically, but making the conscious choice to outwork and out-hustle the competition anyway, that's a winning formula for whatever meetings or projects you are tackling today.
Yeah, it's about dictating your own rhythm, no matter the circumstances.
Exactly. So before we let you go, here is a final provocative thought to ponder over your coffee. If Latvia's superpower is their fighting spirit, what happens when they inevitably face a team that is highly technical and also matches their hustle?
Oh, that's the ultimate test right there.
Right. Can pure heart ever truly outlast perfect execution when the stakes are at their absolute highest? Something to think about. Have a highly productive, upbeat day, everyone.
Dictate your own rhythm today.
And we'll catch you next time on Code and Coffee Daily.